Thank you. Here on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Justice Martha Koome, the Chief Justice, His Excellency Gideon Mung'aro, the Governor Judge of the Supreme Courts and the Director of the Kenya Judicial Academy, His Honorable Judge of the Environment and Land Court, the Honorable Justice Byron Ungaya, Relations Court, the Honorable Judges of the Environment and Land Presence, the Chair of the National Land Commission, Gashom Itachi, and the FAO representative in Kenya, Ambassador Kala Mukavi, the IDLO country representative of the Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Eric Theuri, the Group Managing Director and CEO of CPA of the Environment and Land Court, Deputy Registrars who are here. Good afternoon. It's a great privilege indeed for us to welcome you all to the ELC, various organizations who have worked with the court since it was established. We the found time to come and join us here in Kilifi as we celebrate these 10 years in land disputes. As a result of the court being established, the first set of judges.
We should always be asking ourselves how our land and how our environment is doing, because I think both the three are very, very critical to us: our children, our land, and our environment. It highlights some of the landmark decisions the court has rendered in this decade. And I see an emergence of a jurisprudence that promotes constitutional goal of a land system characterized by improved security of tenure, equitable access to land, access to housing, protection from arbitrary evictions, protection of public land from grabbers, and arbitrary deprivation of property. All these cases are documented in your casebook, and they form a wonderful resource, especially for the lower courts and also for the higher courts. When we are determining issues of land, we look into it for guidance. I can say with confidence that there is already emerging from this court a line of thinking and an angle of approach to land jurisprudence that embraces and promotes social justice vision. This is the vision that we are implementing in the judiciary, which is drawn from the Constitution. 10 years of this court has therefore seen impressive progress in our land law jurisprudence, which is a steady foundation, and I encourage the court as we move to the second decade to build on that. One of the drivers of the court to create a specialized court for ELC matters was the perception that these disputes ought to be dealt with expeditiously. Kenyans felt and expressed themselves that the generalist constitutional jurisdiction of the High Court was not amenable to the efficiency and focus that needed to be given to resolve the land disputes and conflicts satisfactorily. This means that re-engineering service delivery at the ELC for efficiency is a topic that must concern all of us as we debate and reflect on the past and the future. We must also ask ourselves whether ELC has deepened access to justice. But that is not all. In addition, the 10-year anniversary celebration is also an opportunity to look into the future and think of the challenges that remain and those that are likely to emerge as the court begins its second decade and how to tackle the challenges. The land dimension of the ELC jurisdiction concerns a question that goes to the root of state stability, social harmony, and peaceful coexistence of our nation. And this is why our Prime Cabinet Secretary, we have embraced court-annexed mediation. We have annexed these open days activities to have discussions with the people on how we can solve our own problems, how we can empower our own people to solve and find solutions for the problems of land that they are dealing with. The so-called land question has been one of the vexing concerns that is always blamed as the root cause of the numerous conflicts that we experience in our communities. If we can remove the land conflicts in our society, I think we can just talk of very peaceful and harmonious coexistence. Therefore, the Constitution vested the Environment and Land Court with a huge and demanding mandate, and you have been equal to the task.
This conference comes at a time when the world is experiencing one of its worst effects of climate change. The positive impact of the ELC in addressing some land issues is hardly felt, as most households are already facing multiple effects of climate change, like hunger, water scarcity, and subsequent loss of livestock, and in worse cases, human lives. In previous years, we have also witnessed flooding in different parts of the country, leading to damage in infrastructure and diseases. Land issues have also brought about long-standing socioeconomic inequities and conflict among communities, such as fighting over land ownership, which has not only broken families, but endangered the lives of many people. In some instances, Some of the elderly have been killed on matters related to land. Kenya's main productive sectors like agriculture, fisheries, and mining industries directly depend on raw materials from natural resources. These activities and the economic policies that determine them often undermine and deplete the very resources they depend on, leading to a massive downward spiral, environmental degradation, economic loss, and poverty. Environmental rights, as provided for under Article 40 of the Constitution, are now clearly exposed and guaranteed as an integral part of Kenya's democratic state. The Environment and Land Court has jurisdiction conferred upon it by Article 162, 2B of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 to hear and determine disputes relating to the environment and the use and occupation of and title to land. We acknowledge the strides made by the Environment and Land Court in settling land disputes that have not been well addressed for decades. We appreciate that some of these issues are complex and will take more dedicated effort to address.